what your naysayers bring, they can't crush you. They can't get you to the point where you have a loss of hope. Because the nature of God, the glory of God lives inside of you, and trouble can't destroy you, man of God. Trouble cannot destroy you, woman of God. And it ain't you, it's the light that lives inside of you. Paul says. And then he says in verse 10, he says, we carry around in our body, how do we get this glory to shine? How do we get to the place that this glory is evident when we're in the neighborhood, and evident when we're in our families, and evident when we're on the job, and evident when we're in the grocery store? How do we Christians get to the point where this nature is evident everywhere we go? Paul says we carry around in our bodies, in verse 10, the death of Jesus Christ, so that the life of Christ may also be revealed or seen or evident in our bodies. Yes, sir. We just don't cover it up. Come on. We all have a light. We all have the light of God's glory. We all have God's nature living inside of us by way of Jesus Christ. But our instruction, our responsibility is we don't cover it up with doubt and disobedience. Yes, but we die. John put it so well. He said, I must increase in order for Christ to, I must decrease, rather, John says, in order for Christ to increase in my life. Amen. If I don't decrease, people ain't going to see Jesus inside of me. Man and woman of God. So, lastly, we're going to go to Matthew, New Testament, chapter 5. This is Christ's Sermon on the Mount. And in Matthew chapter 5, beginning in verse 13, Jesus says to those who believe, he says, you are the salt of the earth. Yes, sir. But if the salt loses its saltiness, and you know how we can lose our saltiness, doubt and disobedience. Yes. If the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and be trampled underfoot. Christ says that we are the salt of the earth.